Hi, and welcome to my video. This is the Jgaurora A5, and today we're going to be unboxing it, telling you some of the awesome features, and going through a few of the setup items. Let's get started here. So, first we notice it's pretty well packed. Everything's good. There's quite a bit of foam. And there is the base. Looking good. So, we got a little instruction sheet with warm tips, it says. We got some free PLA that comes with the machine. And more packing material and stuff. Here we have a parts and toolbox. Looks like power cord, computer cord, USB card, USB drive, screws and Allen wrenches, and an extra nozzle. So that's always good. Put that over here for now. Cords. Alright. Here we have the spool holder. That's nice that it comes with that. And this giant part that sits over top of the machine. Alright. I think that's it for the box, so we'll get that out of here. This stuff too. Okay, so we have the base. Is this called the gantry or something? SD card. Alright, looks like I have one more thing to cut off of here. Everything looks to be in pretty good shape. The front here, not sure if you can see, it's covered by a little bit of a plastic cover to avoid damage. Everything looks good with the plate, all nice and shiny and stuff. So, since I've done this before, I kind of know how it's going. So basically, you want to stand this up and slide the base into it. How about we do it the proper way? You'll notice all the cords and stuff here go into this side of it. So, there's kind of a little slot that it slides into on either side. And it kind of sits like that. Basically, we're just about done. So, all the cords go in the side here. They're all different sizes, so you can't mess it up. There's 3 different ones. One for the extruder. One for these parts, like the stepper motors on the sides, and one part for the heated bed and everything like that. All the controllers and everything, all the cords are in there. So, Now that we have that in the slot, all we have to do is put in 4 screws to hold it in place, which I should have really got out and ready, but now I gotta do it the hard way. Okay, so we have that and the Allen wrench. 4 of those screws. Start them off with your fingers if that's easiest for you. I just made this difficult on myself, didn't I? Started. Now it'll hold it in place while I get the other one started. So one of the great features about this printer is that it's so stable. It sits really nicely on any kind of table. It kind of needs a lot of room, but it's worth it for the build volume. So, just tighten them up a little bit. Alrighty. So there we go, we have that on there. The next thing we want to do is get the spool holder on, which is 3 screws. And they are different size, so we need different Allen wrench. So this is where we're going to have the filament stored most of the time. Pretty easy peasy little setup here. A little bit more tightening. All right. We are pretty much done the setup portion. One more thing we have to do is level it off. So for that, there's a level assist, which is in the touchscreen menu. And it will guide you through the leveling process. Basically, there is a leveling sheet that comes with the machine, so that you kind of slide it in underneath to make sure the nozzle isn't too far or too close to the print bed. So I'm going to get some power over here because I don't have an extension cord right now, and we'll walk you through it. Okay, we're back and we're powered up here. This is the touch screen right at the home screen when we start up the machine. You can see the plastic filament or film on the outside. Some of the cool features about it. All right, so we're way up. Let's go and level the machine. So let's go to the first position. All right. So it's just lowering. So we want the nozzle to be just at the right distance from the print bed so that our prints stick down well, but it's not under extruding. So we don't want it binding in there or anything like that. We just want it to stick down nice and make sure that first layer is not going to fall off the print bed while we're printing. Alright, here we go. So this looks like we are no resistance. So we need to go move the print bed a little bit up. So we're loosening the screw so we can get a little bit of resistance in there. And there we go. Just a little tiny bit of resistance. Let's go to the second location. Alright, looks like we're a bit higher on this side. So we're going to do the same thing. We are going to loosen this corner screw so that we get a little bit of resistance. Alright, there we go. And let's go to the third location. And we got quite the gap right there, so once again, loosen this. Loosen. Alright, so we want a little bit of resistance. And there we are. Alright. Fourth location. Again, we're a bit too high there. Raise it so reduce the cap, and oh, that's a bit too much. So tighten that screw, and still a bit too much. That's not enough. There we go. Okay. We get a little bit of resistance underneath there, but not enough to stop it. Okay, so we'll go to the center location. We'll see how that is. Alright, looks like we got a little bit too much resistance, so we'll go around one more time. I always like to go around twice because then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Alright, looks like we're a bit tight on there. So loosen that up. Go a little tighter on the screw. Okay. There we are. A little bit of resistance. Not too much, so it's scratching. And we'll go to the second position. This one looks a little bit too high now. Alright, so loosen that up a bit. There we go. Alright, we're getting that little bit of resistance. We'll go to the third location again. Alright, what's this one doing? Alright, we got a little bit too much resistance on that one. There we go, that looks good. Go to the fourth location. And it's looking like we got that gap again. And loosen this screw. Nice little bit of resistance there. Alright, I'll check the fifth. We might have to go one more time. Alright, I think we're going to go one more time just to see. Looks like we need to tighten that. Loosen that. That looks pretty good. And the last one. Last one looks pretty good. Okay, so let's check out the fifth one more time and we'll see what's going on here. Looks like they're pretty good. Okay, so next I'm going to go over some of the controls. So I'm going to mount the camera and we'll be right. Okay, here we are at the touch screen after we level it, which you might have to go around a few times just because it's better to do it than having your prints fail, or otherwise if you just do it 2, maybe 3 times. This particular machine I had to do it a couple more times than normal, but eventually I got it. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about some of the things on the home screen that are important before you load the filament. So what we want to do is go to move. I always like to move the Z up like a little bit so that you can see the filament coming out of the nozzle, and you can make sure everything's perfect when you're loading it. You don't really have to move the XY axis at all, but I like moving the Z axis up, 30 millimeters or so, and then we want to heat up the nozzle. Usually 180 is good enough, so you'll notice that you can go a lot higher, but you really don't need to for PLA. So we do that and it starts warming up immediately. We can also warm up the bed if we want to try and test out a print. So we can warm up the bed as well. For me, I like the bed at 85 for the first layer, so it sticks down really good. This print bed has a black diamond coating on it, which is a pretty amazing coating. I like it because as soon as it's hot, the prints will stick down really well, and then once it cools down back to about 35-40 degrees, then they release super easy. Like, it's an amazing thing. My other printers, I've had problems with the print sticking, and then when I did get them to stick, I had problems with them releasing after. So this bed is just a dream to work with. And you just have to make sure in your G code that you're not letting it cool down below 40 on the remainder of your print after the first layer. But anyway, that's not what we want to do right now. We can cut off the heat. So, looks like we're all warmed up. So I'm going to walk you through loading the first bit of filament so you can test it out. Alright, now we're back up here. You've got your bed leveled, your nozzles heated up, you're ready for your filament. Let's use the stuff that we got with the printer. It is called pale green. Sounds super boring, but anyway. Open it up, it's nicely vacuum packed. So, take it out of here. One thing I like to do when I'm loading filament is break off any mangled ends or anything like that and slowly bend it so it gets kind of pointy when it breaks off. Just so it slips through everything like nice and easy so you're not having any problems with loading it. So, one of the cool features about this printer is it has filament runout detection, which means if you run out of filament, it's going to notice it right here and it'll pause the print for you. So you can unload it and reload some new stuff and continue your print without any huge noticeable problems. Every once in a while there's like a little bit of a glob or something, but normally everything runs super smoothly. So you want to run it through the little hole at the bottom. There's a button here. Hold that button down so that it gets past the feed gear, and then slowly run it through what's called the Bowden tube, if you didn't know. So we're going to go all the way through to the extruder, and hopefully no snags on the way. And you're going to notice it coming out the bottom all melty and everything like that. So now we are ready for a print. So what I'm going to do is warm up the bed and try one of the test prints that's on the card there. So we're going to do that, and I'll get right back to you. So, it just started one of the preloaded models that's on the USB drive when you get it. This is called the A5 Money Cat, and we're going to do a hyperlapse here, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, here we go. Something happened with my time-lapse video, but it's all good now, and the model came out pretty good for a first go round. I don't know exactly what settings they used, but it looks pretty nice and glossy and everything like that. So I think that'll be it for this video. Stay tuned for my official review video of the new Jgaurora A5s. And have a good one.